1. A Captive's Journey. In the deepest and darkest corners of a damaged world, where the light of hope struggles to penetrate, lies a shadowy realm inhabited by the vilest of beings. It is in this reality that the young Serafina found the earliest memories of herself. The flashpoint, of course, being violently torn from her family and thrust into a life of slavery and unimaginable suffering. Serafina was just a child when slavers raided her peaceful village, an innocent, naive little girl who had, up until this time, been sheltered from the evils of our world. With ruthless, incomprehensible efficiency, slavers with sword and cannon tore families apart. They pillaged and burned homes. They brutally assassinated the fathers and sons, but not before they raped and murdered their mothers and wives before them. She remembers the piercing screams and wails of pain as they began shackling the children, condemning them to much less than a life. Serafina's heart raced, then shattered, as she watched her loved ones being killed or violently ripped away from her forevermore. Their cries of anguish echoing in her ears for years and years and many more years filled with tears.
Last you on for she has without possessing, and when they leave she lets them go.
Serafina was a tempest in a tosspot, a whirlwind of fiery spirit and passionate determination, yet commanding a beauty and guile even more powerful than what would someday become her mighty ship, the Bloodstained Lullaby. Simply called Sarah, until her teenage years brought the notice of all that she hadn't just survived. Serafina was a vision. She was, in fact, so beautiful, many rumored her to have either sold her soul to the devil, or to perhaps be the very devil herself. She was stunning, yes, but in a raw, rough-cut, and very unpolished way. Adorned in an old, bloody, tattered tricorn hat with most of her hair tucked under it and obviously captured clothing, without a bath or swab over several days, shoulders, neck, and nape fully exposed. There she was, sweating slightly in the midday sun, standing tall above long, laced boots, sword and daggers upon hip and heels. She removes the dirty hat before the wind does, her raven hair cascading over her shoulders as she flashes back to the earliest memories of being sold off like chaffle. Sarah was subjected to unspeakable horrors. In the clutches of her captors, she endured physical and emotional abuse unimaginable to a young child. She remembers flashes of pain as they sometimes break through a heavy suppression of them. There was a moment, or a few, when she thought someone might be caring for her and possibly could help, only to be reminded that they were still an abuser. An user, corrupt and disgusting, total loser, lost and confused, afraid and in constant pain. The spirit was slowly eroding with each passing day. The world around her became but a haze of pain and despair. Her dreams of freedom or family slowly fading into nothing more than distant memories. There was this bearded man they called the Beast, who weighed no less than 300 pounds, but seemed to be in charge. He smelled like rotting fish and was especially brutal during his unannounced and very unwelcome violent visits to the belly of the boat where all the captives and cowards are kept. Often with too much rum, she was more than grateful when he would just fall asleep before doing too much damage. Sarah welcomed, in fact, begged the gods for death. What a gift they could give her by just taking her while she slept. She was beaten and defeated, She was daily overcome with fears and overwhelmed with sadness. The greatest, a Lady Fate, however, had a very different plan for our young Sarah. As purely blind luck, or perhaps some small chance might, or maybe simple happenstance would have it, a group of about 7 or 8 female pirate warrior women came across her slaver's ship. Once they identified this as a slaver's ship, they did not endure the situation for an extra half of a second. In a whirlwind of chaos and heavy bloodshed, the pirate women overpowered these simple slavers, killing each and every one of them. They were not nearly as acquainted or accustomed to the battle as they were to the pirate captain, had a new life. Among the 4 rescued captives, Seraphina stood out for her fierce determination and unyielding spirit. The pirate captain took notice of how she made calculated use of the only weapon she had at the time, delivering a death blow through a mighty bite to the neck of one meant to continue using and abusing her.
Muy bien!
Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master, my fate. I am the captain.
And so she removes the dirty hat before the wind does. Her raven hair begins cascading over her shoulders, moving with the ocean breezes like magic, always informing her sails. Seraphina was a symphony of strength and sensuality, her enigmatic allure enchanting everyone who crossed her path, friend or foe, stranger or family. In an era when the moon's silver glow was the only light guiding the brave across treacherous seas, comes the passionate determination of one so woven into the tapestry of life, her soul so well intertwined, that the tales of her tale with the force of this gale are ones he shall never forget. Her stories are of strength and resilience. Her ship was full-feared and yet was full of fear. The Bloodstained Lullaby was not just a vessel, it was a symbol of freedom, a testament to not only Seraphina's audacious spirit, but to those of the women and girls she helped liberate and taught how to thrive. It was a floating empire where she was the queen, her crew of salvations an assembly of the most loyal cadre, a family beyond ready to lay down their bodies and their lives for their fierce yet mostly fair queen. Oh, so divine, she was a pillar of rampant love and stolen grace, from a different world, yet left such a remarkable, indelible trace. It is believed today that one worthy of her spirit and mystique can imbibe her through magic and imagined portents here with us tonight. However, her quest was not for the mere, minor, mundane glints of gold or shimmers of silver and jewels. No, Seraphina sought a mythical place, perhaps just a dream, or obsession, a perfect paradise, warm and safe. A place that many songs had been written of and stories told, foretold and retold, passed down and sung to her by those that freed her from some slaver's chains so many moons ago. Tunes and tales not only celebrated this enchanted isle full of waterfalls and caves, and beaches and mountains, but reminded us all that somewhere, Deep in the heart of the Caribbean seas lies the legendary pirate's booty, a treasure so vast it was said to dwarf all the riches of the world combined against it. Legend said that many had sought it, but as far as anyone knew, all had failed to find it. Serafina, with her captivating charisma and relentless resolve, was not one to be daunted by the impossible. She embraced this challenge as her calling, and vowed to all she rescued that she would help them find it. They would find it, share it, and enjoy it together in a perfect way, all the while willing to die trying so the others could in their stead, lest the gods defy